Hey friends, welcome back to Whiskey and Whit. I'm excited to share today's video with you because we are doing 3 DIYs for Halloween. I don't know what it is about this year, but I have gotten the Halloween bug, so let's get started. The first 2 are going to start out with these as the base. These are the create your own ornaments from the Dollar Tree. They have a lot of different ones, but these are the 3 I chose. And when you open up your packages, you're going to want to make sure you keep those little jute twine pieces to the side because I use those to tie them on to different things. But then I went through, painted all the ghosts with white Waverly chalk paint. Then I just used some orange acrylic paint that I had to grab from Michael's because I didn't have any orange chalk paint on hand. And then I finished up with some ink Waverly chalk paint to do the hats in black. Now I let everything dry after I did a first coat on the front, then I flipped it over and did another coat on the back just so then that way both sides were covered. If you're doing this to glue them onto something, you really don't need to paint the back, but because I was using them for garlands and these beads, I knew they were going to spin around and I wanted them to be covered on all sides. Once those are dry, I took the ink by Waverly again and just finished all of the ends of each one. So the hats obviously just had black all the way around, but I added black to the ghosts and the pumpkins just to give it a little bit of a rustic kind of spooky feel. So now we're going to part ways and start with the garland. So here's the base of the supplies that I use. The main piece is going to be that burlap fabric you see on the right that I got on super sale at Hobby Lobby. And you're going to take some jute twine, add some tape to the end to create a little like needle and thread type deal. It's nothing too difficult, just go whichever side if you want to start going up or down, but you're literally just going to go up, across to the other side as a diagonal, through to the other side as a diagonal, come back up through, and you're just going to keep doing that throughout the burlap fabric until you get to a length that you would like. I just ended up using the entire spool and it was the perfect length for me, but if you're trying to do like down a banister or something, you're probably going to need 2 or 3 of those, so keep that in mind as you're picking stuff up at the store. Once you get it all on there, then you're going to go ahead and pull it taut, and that's what is going to give you that kind of ruffled farmhouse look. Once your base is ready, I used a mirror that I was going to hang it on so that I knew that it was going to look like how I wanted it to. So I taped it on just for the time being. Then I grabbed this ribbon from Michael's. I ended up finding it in between when I showed you the first stuff and then when I actually made the garland. But I cut out pieces probably 6 to 8 inches and then I just went ahead and tied them throughout. I wanted a little bit of contrast, but I still wanted to keep it farmhouse. So I think the mixture of the bright orange gives you Halloween, but the buffalo plaid definitely keeps it farmhouse and rustic. Once you have as much ribbon in there as you would like, then I just went through and did a pumpkin ghost hat intertwined throughout the ribbon. And honestly, you could use as many as you painted, but I think I ended up using 3 of each and it was so easy, but this is so cute. You could use this same concept for fall if you just have regular pumpkins, but I really just love how this looks. You can hang these over your mantle, over mirrors. I've also done them for shelves in the bathroom. It just really helps give a little bit of character. This would be great for a Halloween party. So many different options, but I love that it's spooky enough to be Halloween, but not super spooky, scary Halloween. Up next, we're going to take the remaining wood pieces that we painted and create these really cute farmhouse beads. Now, these were inspired by my Christmas in July video that I did a collab a while back when I dyed the beads. And you guys loved that. I had saw it on Pinterest where somebody had dyed beads to create a necklace, and I thought, why not do this for some farmhouse beads? So the first step is to get your area all set up because you're working with dye and you don't want to make your house all dirty. So I set up areas with paper towels and regular towels, and then I grabbed my beads. Now these came from Hobby Lobby. I used a coupon on that, but when they have their beads and stuff on sale, you can also get these at Michael's. You can get them really anywhere. You just want the unfinished wood beads, and each pack had 16 in them, so I went ahead and fed 16 on, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna do 16 and then half in the next one. So I ended up doing 24 each. Then I went ahead and like quadruple knotted it like a necklace, just so then that way those were all going to stay on the strand. You don't have to worry about like fishing them out of the dye. and then it's time to create your dye. Now, I would make sure that you're using some sort of glass bowl or something you don't mind, because if you're going to use a white bowl, it's going to stain it. I ended up putting more in than I did last time just because I wanted to make sure that that black turned a deep black instead of a purple. So I put it in 7 minutes on one side, let it sit, flipped it over, did 7 minutes on the other side, and then once I pulled it out, they had a slight purple tone, but they ended up not ending up that way once they dried. So the 7 minutes was great. If you are in doubt, go ahead and do it for more time, because that's just going to make your beads a little bit darker. So then make sure you get all of that dye out of your sink because you don't want to stain anything. And then I started with the next color, which ended up being Sunshine Orange, and I was slightly on the fence. I wanted this to be deep Halloween orange, and it did not disappoint. I ended up getting both of these at Michael's, but I also saw that Target carries these now. I'll link them on Amazon down below so you know what colors I use, but same thing here, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. Pull it out. You want to run them under cold water just to get all the extra dye out, and then you want to let them dry overnight. Once they dry overnight, then you're ready to string them. You can honestly do whatever pattern that you want. I tied off one end just with a loop if I wanted to hang it, and then I just tightly tied the wood pieces to the end. So I just went ahead and split them up evenly between the 3 strands. Honestly, these are a little bit long, so you could do multiple strands with those 3 packs from Hobby Lobby. It's really up to you. They're really customizable, but I love the dye. It honestly is so much easier to me than painting them. It really gives you the bright color, and I love how these will look on tiered trays. They look super cute with my little blocks that I made last week in a video. I will link that up above if you missed it. And finally, these Rae Dunn inspired candles. I'm so excited to have a Dollar Tree dupe for these because I recently saw these at a Marshall's and a Home Goods, and they are selling them for, I believe, $5.99. So you can create these with some scrap vinyl and also some $1 candles. So Dollar Tree always has the white candles, but now they have black and red. So I really wanted to use those for multiple holidays. So the first thing I did was I went online and I found some sayings. I figured out what I wanted to put on them. So just to give myself some examples. Then once I did that, I went in with the skinny font in my Cricut design space and created the decals that I wanted. Now, I personally don't sell decals. However, Shannon over at the Daily DIYer has a Etsy shop. I will link that down below. I don't know if she has these particular ones, but she has a ton of really cute Rae Dunn ones. I get a lot of questions on if I sell them, which I don't, but I would love to send you her way. So I will link that down below if you're interested in purchasing some decals if you don't have a vinyl cutter. But I just went through, set up all of the different sayings that I wanted, made sure that they were the right height and width, and you can edit that up at the top. And then I hooked up my machine and went ahead and cut everything. Then I weeded it out, and then I just used my transfer tape that I am obsessed with from Expressions Vinyl. I will link that down below, as well as my favorite vinyl from them, because I just love Expressions Vinyl. And then I just took them, stuck them on, made sure that I didn't have any bubbles, and then the process to get them on the candles is super, super simple. So I just pulled off the outside of these candles, and then I went back later. I don't have footage of it, but I went back and used some nail polish remover to get the sticky off. And then there you have it. It's so simple. These look so much like what they have in stores. They don't have the black candles, which I think those are really nice for Halloween, but honestly, you could do these for any holiday. I ended up doing the red one for Christmas. I'm also going to make a Merry Christmas one, but I screwed up that vinyl when I was weeding. So there's that. But honestly, for this whole set, you can literally make all of these for a little bit over the price of one of the Rae Dunn ones, and they look just as cute, and you can customize them. I hope today's video inspired you. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm not a huge Halloween decorator, but this year, for some reason, I'm just loving all the decor. I want to DIY it, and I want to decorate for Halloween. So hopefully these DIYs helped you get into the spirit. As always, if you recreate any of my projects, be sure to tag me on Instagram, on Facebook. I love to see what you guys are creating. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe down below so you don't miss a future Whiskey and Whit video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!